Video 2, Week 6. In this video, we're going to look at adding behaviors to this zombie so he walks backwards and forwards and he jumps up the steps and he jumps onto a platform, possibly this one or that one. We'll take a look. Okay. So I've put in a label here for the zombie behaviors. And the first thing I'm going to do is add behaviors to my zombie. So let's go and find the zombie. There he is down there. I'm just going to click on him, making sure I'm in the right layer, the game layer, and I'm going to add a behavior to our zombie. I'm going to give him a basic simple platform behavior so I can control him with code. And then I'm going to go to my instance variables, and I'm going to add two types of variable. The first variable is a simple number-based variable, and that's going to record the individual health of each zombie because we're going to spawn more than one zombie. So it's going to be a number, and it's going to have a value of 5. Okay. And then I'm going to add another instance variable, but this one is called a string. Now, a string variable is essentially using type or words instead of numbers. So it works like a variable, but instead of counting, it reacts and it records names and text objects. So I'm going to call this action, because I'm going to record using this the direction that the zombie's facing and then simulate him moving as if he was a character in a platform game. Okay, so my initial value I'm going to write in here as left. So instead of writing a number, I'm putting an initial value in, and I'll just click OK. So there's my string and there's my instance variable. Right, so I've applied a behavior, I've given him a string. Let's apply this with a little bit of code. So first of all, we'll add a new event, and I'm going to call the zombie. So hello zombie. And then what I'm going to say is compare instance variable action is equal to, and I'm going to type in the same word which I put over here, lowercase left. Okay, so when my zombie is facing left, I'm going to ask it to move left so I can simulate a platform action. So add action, zombie, simulate control, and left control. Let's test that. Oh, there he goes, and he's fallen straight off the platform. Let's control his speed and everything else now. So I'm going to put his speed down to 100. He's going way too fast. And I'm going to let him accelerate slowly. And the deceleration is going to be fast, because if he decelerates too slowly, he can go past the stops that I make. And the jump strength, I'm going to leave at 650, gravity the same, and my max fall speed. But I'm going to uncheck default controls because I don't want to control the zombie with my keyboard. Okay, let's test it again. That's better. Whoa, goodbye zombie. Okay, so now into copy and paste this action. And now what I'm going to do is change my action equals left to right. So I'm sending out the parameters for my zombie moving left and right. And also we need to put that mirrored action in just to make sure that our zombie's facing the right direction. So again, find the zombie, set mirrored, and because he's facing left already, not mirrored, I'm going to copy this. Whoops. Going to copy this and then set this to set mirrored and done. Good. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we need something to be able to change the direction that the zombie's moving. So we're going to put some obstacles in the way of the zombie. So let's go back to our level here, making sure on the game level, I'm going to right click, insert new object. It's going to be a sprite. Just going to pop it there. We're going to make it nice and blue for my first object. There it is. And I'm just going to turn it into a narrow, thin object. I'm going to pop one here. Make it a bit smaller than that. Copy it, paste it, and I think maybe have another one here for now. And we'll have one here. Just on this platform. I don't know if he'll make up there on his jump, but let's take a look and see. Okay, now this block needs to only have one behavior, and that is to be, well, it actually doesn't need any behaviors. It doesn't even need to be solid because he's going to change the direction that he moves when he comes in contact with the block. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it invisible once I've tested it. So we've got this block. I'm going to call it block because I'm not feeling very imaginative at the moment. And we're going to go back to our actions here, and I'm going to add an action. So I'm going to say zombie on collision with another object, and that will be block. Instead of adding another sub-action to this, because what I want is I want the zombie, when he collides with the block, to go in the opposite direction that he's moving at the moment. So when he's moving left, I want him to hit this and go right. And when he's going right, I want to hit the block and him go left. So I need to add a thing called a sub-event. So I go to the end where the arrow is, I right-click and go add sub-event. And that is zombie. Compare instance variable is equal to right. And then I want the zombie to go the other way. So zombie set value action string left. So I'm actually writing these values into my string. And then I want to add another event to this, an else, because so I can turn it round. So I right click in the area, add, and at the bottom we've got else. So if it's not doing this, I want it to do this. Zombie set value to right. Okay, so then we've got a little bit of code here just to move our zombie around. Let's see if that works. Ah, look at that. He's running up and down, bouncing in. Oh, and he stops there. Next video, we're going to look at jumping and then shooting the zombie.